We're gonna do our braised short rib mole. We don't do 30 ingredients on our mole, but you know, our flavors are there.
Looks like we're at least up to double digits though, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. How do you begin?
So yeah, we're gonna start with toasting our chilies and spice. We're gonna toast it for a few minutes. It's gonna help us bring that mole flavor out, get them nice and brown. And then here we have our rest of the ingredients. This is chicken and beef stock. Then we have our raisins. This is actually gonna bring a little bit more sweetness, a little bit of acid. We have our tomatoes in here.
Looks like they've been nicely charred up already.
Yeah, so we do char them ahead of time, just to bring a little bit of smokiness.
And of course, chocolate, right?
Yeah, you can't make mole without chocolate.
And Chef, is this chocolate sweetened or unsweetened chocolate?
This is sweet chocolate, but we don't add too much chocolate to our mole. We do have a little bit of plantain just to bring a little bit of sweetness in there too. I haven't seen mole with plantains. I think this is probably like a unique technique that I'm trying to bring from my country. We can definitely pull our dry ingredients. You see it nice and brown.
The aroma from those chilies, the smokiness I'm picking up is really incredible.
That's the whole point of toasting our ingredients for the mole. We're just gonna add them a little bit. So we have ancho peppers and we have pastillas. We're just gonna keep slowly adding them, and then we're just gonna make sure they're all like submerged in the stock, and then just gonna help us also release more flavor.
So with adding all these chilies, is this gonna be a spicy mole?
No, our mole is not spicy, but this is gonna add a little kick in the back of your tongue. We don't want to overpower the rest of the dish. Now we're gonna add the toasted ingredients. We have coriander, anise, sesame seed, almonds, cinnamon, cloves. We're gonna give it a little stir.
I like that the pot is nearly overflowing with flavor, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So now we're gonna let all the ingredients simmer for 30 minutes. We're gonna blend it, and then we're gonna put it back in the pot. We're gonna fry up the plantains, and after we add the fried plantains, we're gonna cook it for 8 hours. So here we have the finished mole. Obviously, we're not gonna wait 8 hours for you guys to film this, right? So as you can see, all the colors, it's just so bright and so deep.
There's such a beautiful gloss to that mole sauce, and the color just looks so rich. And the aroma, again.
Yeah.
You're killing me with this stuff, Chef.
This is the beauty of taking a lot of time to make this mole. Each hour just gets even richer and richer. So we have the mole. Over here we have our 8-hour short rib. So after we braise it for 8 hours, we let it sit overnight in the liquid so it concentrates all the flavor in there. What we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna put it in the oven so it can come up to a temperature.
So we got 8 or 9 hours on the mole, 8 hours with the short ribs. This dish takes a little time to get it right.
It does, it does. So now that the short is in the oven, we're gonna season our rice. We actually cook this rice in chicken stock. So here we have the salt and pepper. So now we're gonna add the green. We don't wanna cook it too much because we wanna preserve the color of it. So we're gonna stir it, make sure that everything gets in there.
You just want them to kind of wilt just a little bit.
Right, yeah. Now that this is done, I'm gonna do the finishing plating. We're gonna do rice first. Short rib goes on top, and we just glaze with more mole. The garnish are gonna be a pickled cabbage, and we're gonna do a little bit of queso fresco. And our final garnish will be, of course, cilantro.
All right, Chef, so many beautiful colors, and I know this is the culmination of many, many hours of work. I can't wait to reap the reward.
You know, with this final dish, you're gonna be tasting a little bit of sweet, acid, a little bit of saltiness, so it's like a full combination. Hopefully you're enjoying it.
Holy mole. This dish is an instant favorite of mine. Really nice smoky notes in that mole, and some really interesting flavor notes on top. Something pickled as well?
Yeah, so it's pickled red cabbage, which is in El Salvador we call it escabeche. It's gonna be sweet, acid, and little saltiness. So that's what makes this dish, I would say, perfect.
Well, I love the way that pickled flavor works. And the short rib too, just so tender. And I guess that only comes from all that extra time braising.
Yeah, no, of course, you know, the time consuming, the final product, 8 hours braising. I mean, it should just melt in your mouth.
Hey, Seth here. If you want to discover more of the incredible restaurants in the DMV, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching Signature Dish.